Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Guys, is it just me? It seemed like yesterday we were doing live the Butler Meadville football game. Here we go, the last week of the state championship. How fast? 6 months, 5 months?
I'm glad we have some teams around this area that are
I think an all-time record because you have 5 WPIAL teams plus Westinghouse.
That's great.
I don't think there's ever been 6 like that before.
I don't think so either.
Well, let's take a look at it. The semifinals, North Allegheny 24, Harrisburg 12. North Allegheny quarterback Logan Kushner rushed for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next for North Allegheny 13-1, they take on St. Joe Prep 12-1 in the championship game. St. Joe Prep 49, Central Bucks South nothing. Prep has won 7 of the last 10 6A titles.
Yeah, they're truly not a regular high school team. So but somehow NA and Pine Richland around here do well when they do well. So we give North Allegheny the best.
Yeah, one of those losses was to Pine Richland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Central Bucks. It's a huge school. It was like NA at one time, and they kept splitting it up. Remember when his dad? Remember Albert when the Patton and his dad were coaching at the
dominant.
And they split 4 ways or 2 ways?
I think 2 or 3 ways.
There's a Central Bucks West,
East or West or whatever.
All these games are played at Cumberland Valley High School.
Yeah, that's close. That way they can. Don't get me started. Go ahead.
It's the PIAA. That's your favorite crew.
It's next to the
they're off
state office.
They walk out the door.
Right there.
It's easier to reach out for the money when you don't have to drive as far.
At 5A semis, Peters Township 14, Cocalico 9. Next up for Peters 15-0. They take on Imhotep Charter 15-0. And in 4A semifinals, Aliquippa 52, Sealings Grove 32. Next for the Quips 13-0. They're taking on Dallas. Is that the Cowboys?
No, they better be. They're playing the
better match.
They're playing the Quips. They need it.
That potent running game. Where do they see those two running backs?
And it's
for them.
Once again, too, watch it on TV. It's a lot different when you're chasing them.
Now, when you watch Tiki run the ball, you go, shouldn't he be in the college? The way you see how big and strong he is.
But Tracy's their backup.
Yeah.
And he'd start.
He rushed for a ton.
No, he ran 93-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And nobody blocked anybody. I watched him play 4 times. He made everybody on the other team miss. And if somebody watched it, they'd say, man, is he the guy going to Penn State? No, he's the backup.
He's the backup. 3A semis, Bell Vernon 42, Hickory 6. Next up for Bell Vernon, 12-1, they take on Northwestern Lehigh 15-0. And in 2A, Westinghouse 28, Beaver Falls 8. Next for the Bulldogs 14-0, a championship rematch with Southern Columbia 14-1. Westinghouse 27-1 the last 2 years, not only lost to Southern Columbia, and that was a battle down to the end of the game. I think it was, what did it end up, 34-23, something like that last year.
They gave him a good game. Coach even gave him credit. He said, I love the Westinghouse team. He's seen him again. But there's another Garcia player for that family's carrying Southern Columbia. He's 6'2", 215.
Oh.
And he ran for I don't know how many yards.
I'm just rooting for the Bulldogs. It's a great story.
You got to.
I'd love to see them win it.
Westinghouse.
And 1A semis, Fort Cherry 33, Red Bank Valley 23. It was a battle. It was a game.
The C kid's tremendous.
Yes.
No, he's tremendous. I watched a lot of that game. It was at Farrell, so I got to see.
Yeah.
Just dominant player. I think he ran for 243 yards.
The quarterback for Red Bank Valley's had a tremendous season.
That's why they're there. 2 years in a row they've been there.
So next up for Fort Cherry 15-0, they take on Stilton Highspire 15-0.
They'll be tough.
Still will have 4 penalties in the first 4 plays, and they'll run for a touchdown. I watched them. They've been there before. They have more penalties and more. How they fly.
Forever they
remember it was a big school. They used to lose to Farrell in the A title when it was ABC.
They used to send players to Notre Dame and Ohio State and Michigan. And
real small.
Let's go. Hey, basketball is here. Let's go to boys. Our top scorers, 20 or more points. Tyler Pepin of Seneca Valley, 33. Max Hurry of North Catholic, 29-25. Jacob Calhoun of Carn City, 23. Braden Littlejohn of Butler, 22. Alex Nilas of Hampton, 21. Ryan Check of Mars, 21. Austin Campbell of Mars, 20. Hayden Smith, Union Reimersburg, 20. And Josh Book of Slippery Rock High School, he had 20 also. And for the girls, Catherine Kelly of Montauk, she had 29, puts over 1,000 for her career. Congratulations to Catherine. Claire Noble of Elwood City, 29. Caroline Henderson of North Allegheny 26. Kayla Jones of Elwood City 25. What's going on there?
They had a whooping
with the Lady Wildcats.
They played a team they whooped up on. That's what happened.
Madison Savasky, Pine Richland 25, and Rihanna Boyce of Newcastle 22. That was her brother who played last year, right?
I think so.
And Monito beat Grove City girls. That's a nice win.
Okay. Hey, let's go to our stories of the week. College football, Division II quarterfinals. Well, I went up to the Rock. I said they're going to be ready for Kutztown. Kutztown jumped out to a 21-7 lead. The Rock comes back with 3 to go in the second quarter to make it 21-14. The Rock's in good shape. Second half, Rock takes a kickoff, take it down to I think it was the 9-yard line. It was a 4th and 7. I thought, well, they're going to kick a field goal. They went for it, didn't get it. Kutztown went nowhere, punted the ball. The Rock stormed back down the field, 1st and goal to 4, fumble. Kutztown takes over. It's the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth. The Rock drives down the field again. Their 3rd straight red zone trip. They have a 4th and 2 at the 5. Throw and pass in the end zone.
108 yards.
He picks it off and goes out. Well, they only credit for
100.
100.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was Lloyd, the defensive corner, who picked it off. He said he was ready for the play because the Rock used it up there at Kutztown, 28-14, and the game's over. The Rock pounded between the 10s, 502
what
yards.
A way to lose. Jeez.
You know how many yards Kutztown had? 203.
What a way to lose.
But when you're 0-4 in that red zone, or 3 straight trips, and you come away without a point. Not to second guess coach, but I wonder if he would rethink that and think about kicking that field goal when it was 4th and 7 the first time down there at the 9-yard line.
Well, I'll second that. So 4th and 7 is too far to go for it. Now, if it's 4th and 1 or 4th, I don't mind. Good play action. Yeah. There's not much room. 4th and 7. I guess he thought they'd be down there 7 more times. He was right. They got down there more often.
It was a crazy game because they're up and down the field, but no points. Ended up 16.
Yeah, 500 yards.
500 yards. You should win the game.
Yeah.
They dominated between. But Braden Long, outside that interception, he was 33 of 43, 322 yards. The Rock added another 180 yards rushing. Cohen Russell caught 11 passes for 83. Tight end Cam Kruzalak caught 7 for 90. And Christy Orr was their leading rusher, 12 carries, 62 yards, and a TD. The Rock finishes a great year, 12-2, but they're going to have a bitter taste in their mouth, losing 2 games to Kutztown the last 3 weeks, and that's a 4th straight time that the Golden Bears have beaten the Rock.
I just asked you guys last week which way you'd rather lose. This was heartbreaking. 500 some yards.
It was depressing. I just, you sit there and when that kid Lloyd intercepted that pass, I said, well, he's going to take a knee. Then he come out to the 10. I said, okay. He kept running, and I'm looking. We're
around, huh?
Well, I think the Rock guys are like in shock. And then around in front of his own bench, he picked up 3 or 4 white shirts in front of him, and he was gone. So that's it for this year. I guess wait till next year.
They have built a program that you hope next year. Coach Lutz has done the best job of building a sustained way of getting it done.
Every year they win 10, but this was because they were so close to making it to the semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go. Our Power 5 championship games in the Big Ten. Michigan 26, Iowa nothing. Iowa gave them all they could handle there for a while. Just couldn't produce any offense.
Yeah, but see, there's no chance when you can't score.
Yeah,
points.
You can't score.
Yeah, you can't score. Uh-huh.
And I watched the game, but I didn't realize 2 of the Michigan touchdowns, they got the ball in the 7.
Yes.
Yeah, and they returned a punt for a touchdown.
You can see how Iowa won. You can see how they won their games this year. Their defense and special teams are. Now they missed a tackle on a punt return, but they were down there. But they're both sensational defense and
they played Tennessee. Talk about a crazy game.
It'll be Tennessee will see something defensively they haven't seen all year. That's for sure.
SEC championship: Alabama 27, Georgia 24. No 3-peat for Georgia. We'll talk about this later on. Pac-12, Washington 34, Oregon 31. The only 2 losses for Oregon on the season to Washington. Big 12, Texas pummeled Oklahoma State 49-21. And in the ACC championship, Florida State with their 3rd-string quarterback, a freshman, 16, Louisville 6. So the college football playoff, the Final Four, it's number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Washington, both 13-0. Number 3, Texas, 12-1. And here comes the controversy. Number 4, Alabama, 21. Number 5, Florida State, 13-0. And the first undefeated Power 5 conference champion not to make the playoffs. Now, what do you guys think about this decision?
There was no decision going to work right. I'll say that right from the start. Somebody was going to be upset. They screwed it up a long time ago, not putting 5. I've told George
5 majors.
There's 5 major conferences. Somebody's going to be upset every year. They should, and I said, George,
a couple wild cards
for one extra game. I've said it. My answer would be, no one writes about this. This is the Campman answer. They should have the winner of all 5 conferences in, play whoever the 4 and 5 are.
Yeah.
Play that one game play in. Whoever, and
why couldn't you add a wild card in there too?
But then that's the controversy again. Who's the one? I'm just saying the 5 conference winners play a pickup game. I don't know, a game that get in, and then you have 4 left. That's what I'm.
And the other thing too, Ed, what I think, if you told me that quarterback was in, they got really cheated.
Okay.
Without that quarterback, they are not a top 4 team.
Okay, but here I'm gonna say this. That shouldn't have been part of the equation and evaluation for this reason. Let's say in the NFL, the Chiefs win the division, but Mahomes can't make the playoffs. So you say, "Oh, sorry, we're going to take the second place team."
No, not to say.
Yeah.
No, they play it out in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
These guys are selected. The NFL goes by who wins.
But they're 13-0. They did everything you could. So they won by 10 points with a third-string quarterback. They beat 2 SEC teams this year. They beat LSU and Florida. But the SEC's prestige triumphed over the ACC.
That's the answer.
And the ACC was 4-2 against the
Wake
SEC
Forest
this
beat
year.
Vanderbilt. That was a big one.
Well, it don't matter.
Come on.
No, George, when they talk, but for the SEC will come right back and tell you, here's our record against these other teams. Chattanooga and a lot of teams like that. Tennessee, Martin.
Who would you have left out then?
Who are you taking out?
I put Florida State in and take Alabama out.
Oh, yeah. Only won 13 out of 18, the SEC. That'd be a good one.
No, yeah. Well, okay, Alabama. So you give them, they beat a lousy Auburn team because of stupid coaching on a 4th and goal with the 31. So why is Alabama more deserving? They lost at home by 10 to Texas. Why are they more deserving than Florida
State? They're
State?
the best conference in football for 13 out of 18 years.
Then don't even include the ACC in the future.
That's fine. I don't.
Throw them all out.
My question ready for this. If you watched them play right now, if you said who would win the Alabama-Florida State game?
Well, Alabama, I think would win.
That's what I thought.
Okay, now it might be different if you have the quarterback.
No.
Okay.
They're in if he's in.
Eddie, if the quarterback's in,
but
no argument.
But still, they're 13-0, and they won. You don't give them any credit for winning with a third-string quarterback.
I give them a lot of credit. I give them a lot of credit.
I give them a lot of credit.
That's why this is a struggle.
If Louisville didn't lose to Kentucky and Pitt, there would have been more to that win too.
But if you don't, if you, is it most deserving? Then it's Florida State.
Yes,
but best team. You said it.
Yeah,
and I think they've said on their goal was to get.
When did they put that thing in about having the leeway if a guy's hurt? Because that's what
I never heard of it. To me, it shouldn't even be part of the equation. You look at the team.
Yeah.
So you're telling the rest of those guys because your quarterback's out, the rest of you aren't worthy to play.
I feel bad for Florida
State. I do. No, I feel bad.
But I'm just asking who you would take it out of there because I think because I'm hating to tell you right now. Okay. As I look at the 4-4 games, guess who I think is going to win it? Yeah. I think Alabama's going to win it, so we'll see.
Well, that would be a battle between Alabama and Texas.
Absolutely.
But I think Alabama's going to win. That quarterback has elevated his play a million.
Texas went into Tuscaloosa and beat them by 10.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was weighed much into the equation. They lost by 10 at home to Texas.
They're whatever Georgia gave them.
Yeah, that's a lot of catch. 3 year. Yeah.
Well, Auburn screwed this up because
they did.
Oh no, absolutely.
To this day, you look at the rushing 3, and Milroe just sat back there forever. Forever.
No, he
looking
did.
through the ball.
No question.
All right. So next year, when you have 12 teams, there'll be no controversy.
13 will be upset.
13 or 14, they're going to be arguing.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. The playoff games, January 1st in a Rose Bowl. Number 1 Michigan versus number 4 Alabama. Michigan by 1.5. Surprised there that they're favored?
No, because they're one country all year, but it won't be that. At game time,
Alabama will be favored by Gates.
Yep.
And number 2, Washington versus number 3, Texas in the Sugar Bowl. Texas by 4.5. And then I call this the Consolation Bowl. Florida State 13-0 versus Georgia 12-1 in the Orange Bowl.
2 tutties.
Georgia's favored by 14 points.
2 tutties.
Yeah.
Well, Florida State has no quarterback. I mean, that's why. That's
go with a freshman.
what it comes down to.
Too. One more thing, too. They allude to the Ohio State game with Cornell, but he put 56 up that night.
Yeah, it was a little different when he played.
Yeah.
And Georgia shouldn't be complaining. Ohio
No,
State.
they can't complain at all.
Okay, wait. A minute. Ohio State was number 2, undefeated. They lost. They got tumbled out.
Yep.
They didn't say a word.
Right.
And Georgia, I don't want to hear a word.
No. You got beat.
You got to win that game.
They got beat.
8 other games of interest: Peach Bowl, Penn State 10-2 versus Ole Miss 10-2.
Albert loves that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Albert likes Penn State.
My gosh, I watched Mississippi play. They struggled with Mississippi State. I mean, it was a complete struggle against Mississippi State.
Hey, Duke's Mayo Bowl, West Virginia 8-4 versus North Carolina 8-4. My question is Drake May going to play?
Yeah, we were talking about that. I don't think most, but then I find out yesterday Nick's is
Shocked
playing.
me.
I sent him a thing.
Shocked
Nick's
me.
is playing.
I thought there was no chance that any local player would be playing.
Hey, when you bring up Knicks and talk about Drake May in the transfer portal, more and more quarterbacks are leaving. I'm shocked Ohio State's junior quarterback, Kyle McCord, put in for the transfer portal. You know, this past season, 55% of the starting quarterbacks were in the transfer portal.
It is. It's crazy.
There's 50, listen to this. There were
crazy.
50 some in there. And last year, 43% of the people in there didn't find new homes.
Well, and here's the other thing I'm saying. It's a 1 for 2. When you bring in this guy to transfer portal, those 2 other quarterbacks on your team, they're leaving.
Now,
why even recruit them?
No.
Well, that's today's game. It's nothing like you're
Al
used
and
to.
I talked about this yesterday. Do you think the Ohio State kid got a better offer or death threats?
No, I think he got better offers somewhere.
I think it's a combination of both. I really do. I know he has a place to go. I mean, I know right now he knows where he's going, and we don't.
How about he's a PA kid?
He knows where he's going.
And the Penn State kid quarterbacks at Ohio.
He knows where he's going, but Ohio State fans are after him.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Don't tell me he's going to Pitt.
Could be.
And,
I wouldn't if that was him.
Elsewhere in college football, Prime Time has gutted his roster. 50 players got their red ticket out the door, and half of his coaching staff left.
Oh,
he's just a phony.
He's phony. He's a clown phony.
He was
interesting at first.
He has a mat outside of his door that says, "Don't come in unless you take your shoes off and walk on my red carpet." Now, think about the Colorado kid said we thought he would be a man of faith. Man of faith.
Oh man,
he doesn't. He doesn't act like that at all.
No, he's a phony. He's all about clicks.
50. At first, he was a breath of fresh air. At first,
Wipe your feet.
The Oregon coach had him pegged. He said he's about the clicks.
Wipe your feet.
He is. He's not there to help kids.
What was that story about Goldilocks?
Yeah.
She finally found out at the end who he was.
Yeah, Bad Wolf or the Wolf or it was Grandma or something.
All right, let's go.
Come in, Grandma.
Yeah. Can we go to more depressing news? NFL. Someone on this show last week said the Steelers are going to score 34. Who said that?
Arizona could do 7-on-7 and not score 44.
Arizona 24, Steelers 10. The only splash plays in that game, lightning and thunder coming out of the sky.
Boy, they come out, didn't it?
No Canada, no offense for the second straight week. No first half TD, and the only TD came in the final 5 minutes of play. And there were 2 huge daggers in the Steelers' heart. The first one on 4th and goal to Arizona 1, and Najee Harris got stuffed. And then a 2-10 Arizona team marches 99 yards against a so-called great defense, converting 3 third-down situations and score a TV and go up 17-3. Those are 2 daggers.
That running when they couldn't. Remember, Steelers don't get down too often. When they didn't score the touchdown, that was a big play.
You knew they were in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Steelers, for whatever's going on down there, they're disorganized. For how many games in a row now? They had to take forced timeouts, wrong personnel on the field. They're not a line. How is it in the pros? They didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage got a penalty for that. Delay a game, too many defensive players on the field. This falls on Tomlin. I'm sorry. This team's disorganized. He's the head coach. He gets an F. The offense gets an F. 2 games now, 26 points and only 2 offensive touchdowns. Pick it on the year, guys. 6 TD passes in 12 games. Your guy, Tommy DeVito for the Giants, in 5 games has thrown for more.
Tommy.
He's thrown for more.
Yeah, I know, yes.
Hey, what the thing down there, is there a thought to giving Rudolph a chance, or he just doesn't?
No.
Tomlin says he doesn't get any reps.
I don't.
I'd give him a chance.
Okay. Do we know what Trubisky can do or not?
But it's not a quarterback.
Oh, I know.
No,
but I'm saying, do we
I'd
know?
give him a chance. I'd say that.
But let's look at backup quarterbacks throughout the league. Most of them have losing records, do they not? Now you have Mason Rudolph. He's 10-9 as a backup, 15 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions. But that's about as good as you get as a backup.
Yeah, you give them a chance, but they're just not good.
Oh, here's what the Steelers have. They have 3 backup quarterbacks. Pickett is not a starter. No. He's a backup. Trubisky's been a backup. He's going to start. The Steelers said they have all the confidence in the world for him.
They shouldn't.
What else are they going to say?
They shouldn't.
Oh, he got a big vote of confidence from Deontay Johnson, who, when the Steelers are losing 24-3, he's dancing and celebrating all the way to the side. I'd get rid of him in a heartbeat.
How about when they asked Tom and he said, I didn't see it?
That's because he sticks up for the players all the time.
You knew what he said last week when he didn't go after that fumble. He said, I'll let the guys involved in the play take care of that. No, coach, you're the head coach. You should take care of that. Not the players.
That's been his way all the time. That's the way.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with it.
They do want to play for him, I'll say that.
They have a lot of injuries. Well,
hey, how about the linebackers? They said they have none.
They did.
Landon Roberts is out.
They lost all their linebackers.
What will they do then?
They're moving someone else up off the practice
squad linebacker coming up.
How about that over under 30?
Yeah, it should be 15.
I know.
New England. Samalo's out. Fitzpatrick broke his hand but put a cast on it. T.J. Watt has some type of a leg injury.
Yes.
And now I heard T.J., such a great player, smart guy. He said the NFL is out to get him. Like what? Goodell and the referees got together with the CIA and formed a controversy.
Let's get one.
What?
I know.
He's too smart of a guy to make
not
a
that
comment
smart making
like
that.
that.
He's not that smart.
All right, so here we go with the Steelers 7-5 now take on New England 2-10. 2 of the worst offensive teams around. New England the worst, averaging 13 points a game. The Steelers averaging 14.
This is 13 and 14.
It should be an over and under of 15 in the game.
I know.
Now they lost to the Chargers 6-0, which reminded me of my midget league games when they played.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
and this was 2 field goals.
How do you lose when you hold the other team to 29 yards rushing on 24 carries?
Because they can't score.
Because they can't.
It's been like that all year.
Quarterback.
They can't score. That's why I told George the coach of the year is Tomlin.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
I think the Steelers stink.
The coach of the year is Houston.
I think Steelers stink. Houston has good players.
No.
Pittsburgh. You tell me who's good on Pittsburgh, Eddie. Besides what? Tell me who there's good.
Well, I'm. Besides, I can't give him for all the disorganization that's gone on.
Who? I'm going to say it again. That's my question.
No.
Who do you think was a better team Sunday, Arizona or Pittsburgh?
Well,
I'm not talking about personnel-wise. I'm not talking about.
Oh, the Steelers are a better team.
They're not.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the better quarterback?
Oh, the Steelers are.
Well,
I understand the
Who's
quarterback.
the better quarterback?
All the other personnel, the
Who's
Steelers
the better
are better.
Back? Connor's better than both.
Connors.
Who's better receivers?
Well, wait. Now, you wouldn't have said Connors was better. Najee Harrison
was good.
What?
Harrison. Harrison Warren. Combination better than Now I love Connors. He had 105 yards. He came back and bit the hand hard.
Where Arizona's bad at is defensively. No. Pittsburgh's offense is so bad you can't get advantage of it.
You'd be the only guy in Western Pennsylvania to vote Tomlin Coach of the Year.
I'm voting when it's right.
For Houston.
They stink and they've got 7 wins.
Yeah.
They beat Green Bay. Green Bay. They won 5. They beat Green Bay. Did they beat Baltimore?
Well, let's
How
see.
do they do it? You tell me how do they beat those teams? They stink.
They stink is right,
but
I'm not giving him
They need to win 2 more, boys.
Okay,
they got to.
For George.
Yeah. So you look at the AFC North. Baltimore 93 idle. Cleveland lost to the Rams 36-19. But Flacco wasn't too bad.
No.
254 yards, 2 TDs, interceptions. Steelers 7. Cincy now 6-6 with a 34-31 overtime win. Jake Browning looked like Joe Montana.
He did.
32 of 37 for 354 yards, threw a TD, ran for a TD, and made a couple other key runs in the game.
Chase.
Interesting.
Mixon. Number 5.
Yeah, pretty good.
No, they got talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they block, it all comes down. And they blocked last night. Cincinnati game protection.
Hey, let's hope Trevor Lawrence is okay.
So
I hate to see another star quarterback up.
Oh, I thought that
was
was. Hey, I think the best news in the world is his ankle. I thought it was his knee.
It looked nasty.
It looked like they bent it over.
And mentioned Pickett had surgery. Hope he's going to be okay.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't understand. He had ankle surgery. He's back in 2 weeks.
I don't
understand. Hey,
when he went down, I thought it was a concussion. I had no idea he hurt his ankle.
No.
Yeah, look, when they tackled him from behind, he was on a bad end.
This is 4 times he's missed time.
Let's go to NFL power rankings. Surging to the top, the 49ers, 9-3 with a 42-19 whipping of the Eagles. Next up, the Seahawks. They're favored by 10.5, the Niners. Miami, number 2, 9-3, 45-15 over Washington. Next up, the Titans. They're favored by 12.5.
Oh, boy.
How about Tyreek Hill? He needs 500 yards to become the first receiver to receive 2,000 yards.
He makes the pros look slow.
Why did Kansas City ever let him go?
It was money. It was money.
I'd have given him a Brinks truck.
I know.
Loaded with money.
They gave Mahomes $500 million.
Yeah. Baltimore 9-3. Next up, they have the Rams at home. Ravens by 7.5. Philly drops to number 4, 10-2. Next up, they're at Dallas, providing Aliquippa. Doesn't beat that. They're favored by 2.5.
Pretty good.
Dallas 9-3. Next up with the Eagles. Boy, what a schedule! Brutal for the Eagles. But that's what you have when you win. Kansas City 8-4. They lost to Green Bay. Green Bay's coming on strong. Next up, they have the Bills. I like the Bills in the game. Chiefs by 3. Jacksonville 8-4, lost to Cincy. Next, they're at Cleveland. I like Cleveland in that game. Detroit 9-3, 33-28 over the Saints. Next, at the Bears. Houston moves into number 9, 7-5, 22-17 over Denver. That was a big win.
Yes.
Next, they have they're at the Jets. They're favored by 4.5. And Indy sneaks in at number 10. They're 7-5, 31-28 over Tennessee. Next up, they're at the Bengals.
Good game.
Hey, that's it for us. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.
You've reached Mega Fiber. No one is here to take your call. Leave a message.
Happy holidays. Thanks for calling Armstrong. This is Rachel.
At Armstrong, our 24/7 live support also includes holidays. Armstrong provides you with the customer service you deserve.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.